Weißt du, ich dachte, ich höre nicht richtig, als ich heute früh die Nachrichten einschaltete. Frank Smith soll ein richtiger Gangster sein?
Nicht nur ein Gangster, sondern der hiesige Syndikatschef.
Ich hatte solchen Respekt vor ihm, Dave, wegen seiner Höflichkeit, seines Stils.
Wir haben uns eben alle in ihm getäuscht, Jessie. Du warst nicht die Einzige. Mich beunruhigt am meisten, dass er Mitglied des Verwaltungsrates ist. Die Baldwin hat ihn empfohlen, Steve hat für ihn gebürgt. Das wirft ein schlechtes Licht auf die beiden, wenn die Sache an die Öffentlichkeit kommt.
Main desk, Mr. Brewer. Yes, hold on a moment. He's right here. Steve.
Oh, thank you. Hello? What? Oh, I'm sure Dr. Hardy is planning to call a meeting himself. Very well. Goodbye.
What's wrong?
That was Mr. Baxter of the Board of Directors. He wants to call an emergency meeting right away to discuss who recommended Frank Smith for the Board of Directors.
Wow, they really don't waste any time, do they?
No, they sure don't. I better get to Steve and tell him what Frank Smith's done to us.
Is that your statement, Mr. Smith?
Yes, it appears to be an accurate transcript of what I said.
You still insist that you know nothing about the death of the night watchman?
I do.
And you know nothing about the stabbing of Patty Kelly?
Nothing whatsoever.
And you have no knowledge of the deceased Vic Gower or a man called Hutch?
None at all.
Mr. Smith has already made his statement. He's ready to sign it, so please don't presume to harass my client any further, Captain Ramsey.
Oh, is that what I was doing?
Weren't you?
Not at all. This man is about to sign a statement that can be used against him in a court of law. I was just trying to make certain that he was absolutely positive he was telling the truth.
Absolutely positive. And as for the deaths of the people you mentioned, I cannot make statements about things I have no knowledge of, not even to protect myself.
I can't help but admire your integrity, sir.
Should I sign it now?
I see no reason not to. And then we'll see about getting you out of here.
Oh, I'm afraid that's going to have to wait, Mr. Jennings.
What for? You can't hold him any longer?
I'm not talking about holding him. I'm going to book him, fingerprint him, and then see that he's comfortably settled in a jail cell.
I haven't had anything to do with these killings or these crimes.
You'll regret this action, Ramsey.
Oh, no, Mr. Jennings. As a matter of fact, this is one of the most pleasurable days I have ever had on the police department. Excuse me. Ramsey here.
It's Joe Kelly.
Yeah, Joe, what is it?
But I've got General Hospital right now, and they are just wheeling Hutchins into surgery.
Oh, how is he?
Well, he's alive. He's got a bullet lodged in his heart. They've paged Rick Weber to do the surgery on him. I don't know, your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, well, I guess you'd better tell the good doctor that his patient is a man who was hired by Frank Smith to kill Laura Baldwin and Luke Spencer. And the staff just how important that witness is to me.
Will do.
And I'll take care of posting the guards at the CICU. You just keep me informed, okay? Thanks, Joe. You know, life is just a matter of timing, wouldn't you say? I think you may have been a little hasty in signing this statement.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it says here that you never heard of Vic Gower or Hutch.
That's absolutely correct.
Oh, well, that's good, because then it won't upset you to hear that though Vic Gower is dead and can't testify against you, that the man known as Hutch is very much alive.
My client has already told you those names are meaningless to him.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that, because, you know, professional killers have a habit of singing like a canary once they've been caught.
You don't frighten me, Ramsey.
I don't? That's too bad, Frank. Because if I were in your shoes right now, I would be tremendously frightened.
Obviously, you're looking for a scapegoat, but I'm not it.
It's possible we'll sue for false arrest, Ramsey, so you'd better watch what you say.
Well, go right ahead and sue, Mr. Jennings. You know, your case would be a lot more believable if Mr. Smith here had that black book, but he doesn't have it. Fortunately, Luke Spencer had it, decoded it, and gave it to me a couple of days ago. Frank, do you think that I would have had a warrant issued for your arrest if I weren't absolutely certain that you were going to be a permanent guest of this state for the rest of your natural life? Jesse.
Oh, Rick, hello. Hi, you haven't gotten much breathing space since you've been back in town, have you?
No, I sure haven't. I understand there's an emergency patient.
Yes. With a bullet in his heart.
Domestic quarrel.
Oh, we don't know the details. He was just brought in a few minutes ago.
Seeing breath?
Oh, yeah, they started.
Good. Who's on standby to assist?
The only doctor available is Monica Quarterman.
You sure?
I'm very sure.
All right, would somebody page her and have her meet me here in the lobby, please?
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Thank you. May I, Jesse?
Of course.
Thank you. Yes, this is Dr. Weber. Is Dr. Leslie Weber there? No, I'm sure she's there somewhere. Probably Captain Ramsey with them. Would you see if you could find her for me, please? Thank you.
Dr. Monica Quartermain to lobby nurse.
No, I'll wait.
Dr. Monica
Where are you calling
Quartermain
her,
to
Rick?
lobby nurse.
Leslie, she's down at the police station.
Police station, what's she doing there?
We're waiting for them to bring in Laura and Luke. Oh, Leslie. Yeah, hi. Hi, it's me. No, I'm at the hospital, at an emergency surgery. I don't have any details yet. I just want to let you know where I am, and No, look, in case you need me, I'm here, and I understand the police escort is going to be a few hours from there. No, I'll be there just as soon as I get finished. Right. Leslie, I don't know what I'm going to be faced with. All right, I will. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Yeah, she's a little nervous yet. Did you get in touch with, Monica?
Yes, she called from the second floor. She said she's on her way down to talk to you.
No, wait.
Pretty excited about seeing Laura.
Yeah, a little nervous myself.
Of course. Leslie's certainly been wonderful all these months, not knowing if Laura was dead or alive.
She has, Jesse.
Anne has just told me that you want me to assist in surgery.
Yes, that's right, I do.
Why?
Because you happen to be the only doctor available, that's why.
You really expect me to assist you after everything you have said to me?
I don't think we have to discuss this, Maria.
Well, I think we better discuss it someplace.
Fine, let's do it.
What are you doing? You told me in no uncertain terms that you did not want me as your assistant. Ever again. So what, now all of a sudden an emergency comes up and you need me to work with you? I'd say that's a bit quixotic, wouldn't you?
I seem to remember you saying that you would work with me in case of an emergency.
Yes.
Don't I remember hearing you say that?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
And I did say it, and I also remember you being really less than thrilled at the idea.
We both made a promise to Steve Hardy that we would be professional.
So that's the way it's got to be?
Yes, now shall we get started, please?
Frank Smith used torpor to get a position on the hospital board. Why? What did he have in mind?
Well, it seems to me he wanted to present a respectable facade to the community. He wanted to belong to as many worthwhile institutions as possible. You know, he belonged to the Civic League and a couple of charity organizations as well.
And made large contributions to them, I'm sure.
Matter of fact, that's true, yes.
Which brings about another point. What about the large sums of money he donated to us?
What about him?
Well, do we keep it or do we give it back?
Steve, I don't think money has a morality of its own. You got to consider how much good that money can do. I think if I were in your spot, I'd recommend the board keep it.
Oh, I don't know, Lee. We have an obligation to the community, not just the board.
All right, that's true.
I feel that the money is dirty, tainted, and keeping it would only further discredit us.
Well, all right, then it's our job to convince the board to take that viewpoint.
If possible, the big trick is to get to them before they make up their minds. Afterwards, it's too late. Come in.
Steve, am I interrupting?
Oh, no, Dad. Come on in.
Hello, Dan.
There seems to be a groundswell among the members of the board of directors for an emergency meeting on this Frank Smith thing. 4 of them have just called me, one after another.
What'd they sound like?
Not too happy. Baxter wants to call an emergency meeting right now.
All right. fine. If that's what he wants, he's entitled to it. And we might as well get it over as soon as possible.
I'll get the ball rolling then. May I use your phone?
Go right ahead. Looks like we've got our work cut out for us, Lee.
I'd very much like to know what's happening with Frank Smith right now.
Well, we can try and find out. I'm sure Captain Ramsey would be willing to tell us.